Hi everyone, welcome back to Dave's Whiskey Reviews. Today we've got mystery review number 13. Again, another sample picked from my collection here by my wife to blind taste for you and give a guess as to what I think it'll be. So this is looking like gold, light, not quite light gold, I'd say that's mid gold again. Mid gold covers quite a lot of the different whiskies in the world for me, I think. Not that the colour matters sort of too much. In terms of the viscosity, this one is looking very high. The legs are really, really slow moving on this one. In fact, they're barely moving at all. So this one is looking like it might be maybe cask strength, or at least a very high strength. Really fresh, very, very fresh nose, lots of apple, green apple. A bit of maltiness and some lemon, some like citrusy lemon. And there's a little bit of a kind of rubbery note in there. It's kind of a Speyside or Highland Scotch whiskey, Scotch malt whiskey style. But there's not a huge amount on the nose giving it away. A bit of porridge, maybe. And oats. Really, really natural style of whiskey. It's reminding me a bit of Glen Scotia actually on the nose in particular. Very, very natural Glen Scotia. Let's have a taste. So even though the viscosity seemed really high, actually the strength I think is probably closer to 46% maybe. In terms of the taste, it's really, really soft to start out, and then it builds a little bit, really natural, malty. You're getting those kind of porridgey, very slightly yeasty notes. It's a really old school style of whiskey. Definitely reminded me of Campbelltown, but not probably not Springbank. For me, it's more like a Glen Scotia or Kilkerran. More like Glen Scotia. It's a little bit spicy on the taste, but not too much. There's a little bit of oak into the finish. And it's quite oily into the finish as well. There's a little yeastiness coming out on the nose as well now, which comes across as a little bit of an off note, just taking it a little out of balance. It almost tastes a little bit, it's going to sound a bit strange, almost tastes a bit dusty on the palate. It is a bit of an odd one. It's not an easygoing whiskey. It's quite challenging, I would say, quite a challenging sort of style of whiskey. Bit of apple coming out now, but it's not really in balance at any point. It's not. There's those flavors are there, but they're not really melding together in a good way. A little better into the finish, but it just seems a little bit out of balance. Yeah, I'm going to guess Glen Scotia 12-year-old. From the discontinued packaging, the last packaging before they rebranded, which I think were the ones with those hideous Highland cows on the front with the like, phosphorescent colours. I think the 12 was in like a grey box, something like that, and I think that's at 46%. I want to say 46%, but that is what I'm going to go with. A Glen Scotia at 12 years old. 46%. Let's see here with the reveal. Ah, okay. So this isn't a Glen Scotia, actually. It's an Inchgower. Inchgower isn't a distillery you'll see a lot anywhere, but there is one official bottling, which this is. It's the 14-year-old Flora and Fauna release at 43%. Inchgower. That's a funny one because normally I hate Inchgower, which is probably why I was saying it was out of balance a lot. Inchgower isn't one of those distilleries I get along with very well at all. It's I've had a few bottlings. I've had 1 or 2 independents and this 14-year-old. But actually it's nicer than I remember it being anyway. But it's not really a style I can again get along with at all. But I can see what was leading me towards Glen Scotia. It's austere, that's what it is. That's what's leading me towards that style. It's quite an austere style of whiskey. It's not giving you a lot. It's quite challenging. It's really challenging you to find the notes in there to try and get those out of the whiskey. But in the end, what you're finding is that it's not quite as in balance as you would like. If you didn't know, the Flora and Fauna bottlings was really just a nickname for those bottlings. They had a normally an animal or a flower or something on the front, and they were Diageo releases of their kind of lesser known distilleries that they didn't have in the classic malts range. And actually it's a really good way of getting hold of some of these lesser known distilleries that you may not have heard of. Although the best ones now are a bit harder to find. The Mortlach was probably the best one, the 16-year-old Mortlach, and that they discontinued. The Benerinus 15-year-old you can still find, that's really good. More of the kind of the heavily sherried ones I think were really good. The other ones I've tried haven't been quite as nice. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you want to read my full notes, I'll put those down in the description. But for the moment, thanks very much, and hopefully see you next time.